Bergkamp. Perez. Wilco makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
Hello and welcome to a Bergkamp Wonderland, the podcast where I've only been up for 25 minutes and I'm ready and like a shiny kitten, it's time to go. With me this afternoon to talk about this quite magnificent win is Norwich's second best Arsenal fan. It's only bloody Nick, isn't it? Right, Nick?
I was. How come you were late?
Because I had my alarm. I went back to sleep and then I had my alarm set for 3:30. And then I laid there for 5 minutes thinking, just in case the world ends, I'm not getting up. And then I sat there for another 3 minutes thinking, well, I better make sure that the world isn't going to end. And then I got up. And then that was it. And then it took me 15 minutes to get up, get dressed. Well, I say get dressed. I've only got a t-shirt on and nothing else. That's just in case anyone comes around to try and burgle me. You're in for a surprise. And then I came in here, and then I had to shout at the cat because she wouldn't get off the table. And then I had a mouthful of day-old Pepsi Max, and I'm ready to go. So we're only 5 minutes late. I think if we were on time, people would wonder what is up. Well, nothing is up. Arsenal were brilliant. What a magnificent result. What a time to be a gooner. Let's get on with the show, shall we? Right, Nick, your thoughts on the lineup. Were you worried? Because in the preview show, I said that I was going to go for a tricky 2-2. John said 3-1. Nearly all of the chat said we were going to win this. What did you think before the game started, looking at the lineups?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised because I think, I was hearing rumours that Odegaard might be out, and he was it a calf strain or something like that?
Him and Zinchenko, yeah, both got calf strains.
Calf strain. So whether or not they've been kicking each other in the calves, I don't know. Like we used to do when we were at school, when you used to walk up behind someone and kick him in the back of the leg and give him a dead leg. So maybe they've been
frowned upon now.
Frowned upon. You'd probably get arrested for that now. I mean, saying that, if we got in trouble when we were at school for what we did today, we'd probably still be there in detention.
He'd definitely be on a list or two.
But yeah, I mean, lineup is what it is. I'm a bit worried that Tomiyasu's not starting more regularly now. But then Ben White's not really doing anything wrong, is he, to get dropped? And the only thing we were saying that maybe Tomiyasu would come back in is because he might help Saka out a bit more down the right. But other than that, can you really should you change the winning side, Danny?
No, because 3 clean sheets this season is pretty decent. We've conceded 7 goals in 7 games. One of the top goal scorers. And I don't know if you've noticed, Nick, we're top of the league.
Are we?
We are top of the league. Nobody else is top of the league. We are absolutely magnificent. And looking at, you were saying about Saka, I'm just looking. This season, he has got 1 goal and 4 assists in 8 games. We're seeing a different side to Saka. We're seeing someone who isn't our star player, partly because, like you were saying about Tomiyasu not giving him the outlet down the right-hand side that he gets from him, that we don't get that from White, but we get a little bit more possible defensive stability when White plays. And so Saka is a little bit more free to go and do stuff. The pressure isn't on him all the time. He's not going to be the one like we saw last season. He's not going to be the first one that everyone goes out there and tries to kick, which is nice. And he's doing all right. 4 assists already. That's pretty decent. But then again, you've got other players like Jesus, 4 goals, 3 assists. Martinelli and Odegaard, 3 assists. Saliba, 2 goals, 1 assist. Xhaka, 1 goal, 3 assists. And in Nketiah, 1 goal, 1 assist. And we've got a few other players like Marquinhos, 1 goal, 1 assist. There's not much to grumble about, is there?
No, it's good that we were actually sharing it around, whereas a couple of seasons ago, it was like, well, if Aubameyang doesn't score, we're had it because no one else can. But yeah, it's nice that we're sharing it out a bit. And even someone else scored today, got their first goal, which is nice.
It's very nice. Let's go and have a say hello to some of the scumbags in the chat. Khalito El Guna was there at 2:06 p.m. Back on top of the league where we belong. That was nearly just over 2 hours ago. Lovely. You're there having a moan at me. I'm not having that. Phil Macker, the 14th best Arsenal supporter in Norwich, right after your old man and Ellis's missus, Ellis's 3 kids, and the bin man. Loki is there. Afternoon, Loki. Mr. Mercury is in. Hello, Josh Page. And who else have we got? Keysby Knight. He woke up at 6:30 a.m., asleep by 6:35, wake at 10 to a 3-0 win. Wouldn't have minded sitting through that one. Asleep, 5 minutes to get to sleep. Not something I have a problem with. BX Gunner, 3 points. Pride avenged. Top of the table again, lovely. Josh has second most assists in the Prem. I think you possibly mean for Saka. Yep, different side of his game. It's lovely. Martin Gilmore, say we are top of the league. Say we are top of the league. Joshua says, only De Bruyne has more assists. Martin Gilmore, great to see Jesus scoring again today. Jim Eves, good afternoon. Phil Macker, I'll be at the Spurs game. Can't wait. Oh, well, if anyone wants to go there and kick Phil's head in, let us know. We'll send you a photo of him wearing some of Fran's merch. Lovely. Right, I've made some notes. I made them on my phone in bed, and I didn't fall asleep at half time. Isn't that brilliant? So the first notes that you've already brought up: Odegaard and Zinchenko out with calf issues, Xhaka captain, and a 15-year-old on the bench. We'll come to that later. Yeah. First note I've made, Nick, Vieira's skinny arms look like my mum's arms. Did you see how skinny his arms were?
Yeah, he does look a little bit on the slope side, and I think one of the commentators was giving him, well, the commentators, if you call them that, they're absolutely terrible as always. But yeah, he got a nice whack after about 10 minutes, and over the usual, oh, that's not a foul in the Premiership, son, you'll have to man up, and all that sort of crap that they normally say. But it doesn't really matter how big his arms are, because you can't play with those anyway and do anything with them. Oh, the boss is in chat.
Papa Wilson is in the chat. There you go. Is it his fault you support Arsenal?
Yes, I wanted to support Crystal Palace, and then he slapped the crap out of me and said, "You're an Arsenal supporter."
And what does Mummy Wilson support?
She hates football, and she's not too keen on my dad either. So,
or you, in fact?
No, not me.
She doesn't or the rest of you. The only one she likes of your family is your cat.
Yeah, the cat. That's her favourite.
Good. Yes, so I was drifting off the point there, which is unlike me.
It's unlike you.
It is. So next note, have you if you made any notes? I should ask you that before I start blabbering on.
No, I thought about it, and then you said you were going to do it.
Yeah, like I always do. 10th minute, I put nice opening 10 minutes. Was that a thing? A glimpse of what was to come? Because I don't think during the whole game we played badly or had a bad patch at all. Could this be the game, do you think? Like I've been saying, and we've all been saying for ages, that one day everything's going to click. Do you think today was the day?
Yeah, it did seem like that. We never had a spell. I mean, because I was at the Villa game, we were all over them for about 60 minutes and should have been 3 or 4, but we're only 1-0 up. And then we had about a 10-minute spell where they were on top and we just struggled to control it. But even when we didn't have the ball, we were still controlling them. I think I had like maybe 2 shots the whole game, 1 in the first half. And it's really good that, like I say, they're good at controlling the game, the tempo of the game. So, all right, we want to slow it down, we're going to slow it down. And when we want to speed it up, we're going to speed it up. And that's just...
Much like Bucks Fizz.
Yeah, what? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't drink that. But yeah, it's just really good that we've got that, whereas before, in the last, 2 or 3 seasons, remember when we did that where we were really good the first half and terrible the second half, or vice versa, and stuff like that? I think this is one of the first times in a long time we've just been good for the whole game.
Bucks Fizz, they won Eurovision for us, and that was part of the lines when you speed it up. And you're going to slow it down. No?
I thought that was orange juice and champagne.
Oh, that is a drink indeed. I'm going to move on. Hopefully someone in the chat will know what I'm talking about. Martin Gilmore says, Vieira with a great strike today. He looks like a real talent. He does. And Phil says, be awesome to see Vieira and Herb Garden get it together. No, they play in the same position, didn't they? I think. I know Vieira can play out on the right, but we don't know yet which is going to be his best position. But he was a goal machine for the Portugal under-21s, and he is an assist machine in the Liga NOS, which I think is what the Portuguese league is called. 12th minute. Welcome to the Premier League, Mr. Vieira. Ben Mee nearly breaks him in half. He wasn't happy. And the commentator went, well, there you go. That's the Premier League for you, son. You have to get used to that. Oh, I laughed. I shouldn't have laughed, but I did laugh. 13th minute, funniest moment of the game. Apparently, Rico Henry can't spit. Did you see that? He had 2 attempts to spit, and both times he went, and it just got stuck and dribbled down the side of his face. And he went, and he tried it again, and it went in the same place again.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was watching. I'm sure it'd be fine.
Yeah, it was definitely not a few million people watching on TV. Here we go, Nick. The goal in the 16th minute. I've put a Saka corner. Saliba jumps near post, just inside the what? I never know what size the 2 boxes are. This is the smaller boxes. One of them 8 yards, and the other one 19 or something.
6-yard box and the 18-yard box.
Thank you very much. Jumps just inside the corner of the 6-yard box, gets a glancing header on it, goes far post and in. We've got a couple of centre-backs that love to bang goals in. We haven't had that since the days of Sol Campbell. I mean, I think Koscielny liked one.
Yeah, Koscielny had a few.
And Stevie Bold famously liked a couple of those, like against Sampdoria in the Cup Winners' Cup semi-final at Highbury. But having 2 defenders that like to score goals, that is wonderful. Tell us about the goal, Nick. How did you celebrate?
I was just excited because we'll get to it later. I just love it when the ball comes in off the post and stuff like that. I don't know why. It just makes me more excited than a normal, if it doesn't. But yeah, you just out-jumped him. I mean, someone had a handful of Xhaka's shirt in the box, so he didn't go for it, which is good. Because I'm pretty sure if he'd have jumped up for a header, it'd have probably gone out for a goal kick or something like that. But yeah, nice one went in. And it's one of those where you saw it and you're like, it's in. It's in, right? Linesman, call it. It's in. And then obviously because they got the VAR and the goal line technology, you get the little vibrating Apple Watch they've got on there and said it was a goal. So it was like, yes, because I don't know if they'd have give that because the linesman wasn't going to give it. But it just looked so in. And, they showed the replays. I mean, they don't show that Hawkeye thing anymore. I mean, I don't think they actually needed to use that because it was a good, foot over the line?
Yeah.
And the goalkeeper got it in, but it was nice. I mean, that just, it just calmed everyone's nerves down a bit. And then we just carried on from there. And it's nice that Saliba's actually playing and getting goals because, he's, what was it, 3 years he's been out on loan?
Yeah, first season he went back to St Etienne. Second year he went to multimillionaires Nice that have now got Ramsey, Kasper Schmeichel and Ross Barkley, who the manager said, I don't even know what position he plays in. And then his third season at Marseille.
Ross Barkley plays in the injury room, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, it's very strange to them. They got him, and obviously the manager didn't get him because the owner of the club is English, isn't he?
Yeah, but Saliba, he's doing really well. I think if they aren't already, they should be in talks with him about extending his deal because I think we signed him on a 5-year deal, so he's got a year left after this one. So I think we should be trying really hard to snap. I'm not saying we've got to throw all the money at him at all, but definitely try and extend it because if not, we get up to January, February, people are going to be looking at thinking, oh, he's got a year left. We might be able to sign him. And whether we believe it or not, you can't tap players up. They do, don't they? They all talk. All the players talk to each other. The agents talk, and we find out someone like Real Madrid or Barcelona want him in January. Is he going to sign a new deal?
Well, him, Saka, and there was one other they're trying to sort out new deals for. So hopefully they do get them because they are essential parts of what we're building here, and we love them all immensely. And we can't let them go. Got to make them happy. Right. Next point. What have people been saying in the chat? I left that up from Joshua Page for quite a while because I was going and getting some pictures. Josh says he was fouled at a rate in Portugal last season that would have made him the second most fouled player in the Premier League last season. Oh dear, that's good. He's used to it. Toughen him up. Kieran is there. Big up all Gooners from Jamaica. Loki says about 350 millimetres over the line. That's 35 centimetres, and that is about 2 3/4 inches. There you go. I'm a man of many sizes and widths and measurements. Mr. Hernandez is there. Scumbag. Patrick Carson is there. Says Gabby. Joshua says Martinelli, and they're all saying hello to each other. Okay, Anna said, after this win, gonna have my rice and peas with chicken. I've got half a bag of malm here. I'm having that. So moving on, the 20th minute, Gabriel holding down the top of his right calf. Oh, Gabriel is down, holding the top of his right calf. And then they showed a video of before the game in the warm-up. He had a twinge in the warm-up too. That is... I suppose we could say, are we worried? But we can have Tomiyasu come in and play at centre-back. We've got Big Bob Holding to come in. We've got no games now for 2 weeks during the international break. Plenty of time for everybody, like we've seen with Partey coming back. Plenty of time people to go out, get rested, come back, and they're all back to wonderfulness again. Are you worried about that? Or do you think the international break was going to be long enough for everyone to be cured?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going to go. Has he been called up for international? Because I know Jesus didn't get called up for Brazil this time. I don't know if they've gone off him or they don't want him there because they know he's definitely going to the World Cup. I don't know, but I'm not sure if he's been called up or not. So whether he'd get 2 weeks off or go on international. You don't know either, do you?
No.
Okay. Move on then. He's a good lad. They put some of that magic deep heat on his calf, and then he ran it off, which is nice. Nice to see.
It is. Our Femster is there. Shame Amari Hutchinson decided to leave. We could have been him breaking through this season. I never liked the cut of his jib. We got him from Chelsea in the first place, so I think we're going to get a few £1 million compensation from him. You know, we stole him from them in the first place. So, and Josh follows up with Femi's comment and says, "That's right, Femi. We got 15-year-olds with beards too." This the other kid, isn't it? He's a Fred. If he's 15, Freddie Adu is about 17. Bullshit. He's not fucking 15. You know, they can now test these players. They can measure something to do with the density of their bones in their little finger, and they did that for a tournament. And that one of the teams found out they had this new technology at an international tournament to test how old people were, and I think most of the team didn't turn up for the tournament.
What are you trying to say, Dan? You're saying footballers sometimes lie about their age? I mean, yes, Kanu's still only 27.
He is. I was quite surprised that he's even that old. But it's a thing. But it's no longer a thing. But we have a young man, if you don't know what I'm on about, coming through the team at Arsenal. And they say he's 15. He's got a fucking beard.
Yeah, I saw him when he came on, but that's towards the end of the game.
That wasn't that player, was it?
Yeah, he came on.
Yeah, no, the 15-year-old, but we've got another 15-year-old. Or was this the one they were talking about?
I think that's the one.
This one didn't have a beard.
Well, he had a thingy at the bottom. I'm sure he had not a full beard, but he had something going on.
I've managed to get a picture of this. So here he is. I was looking through this last night, looking for all the young players we got. I've got a list of them. Didn't have a beard.
No, I thought
it's a little.
There's a little thing. It's a little thing at the bottom.
No. He has got a very defined jaw. This bloke I was looking at didn't have much hair, and he had a beard. It might have been Chris I was looking at. Rudy says, "Afternoon. I didn't expect this." Well, there you go. We aim to please. TTM Pred. That's Amari's fault for being impatient. Well, Chelsea just flashed their knickers at him, didn't he? And he went running back there. Rudy, we were so comfortable. I have no words for this performance. It was that good. I don't remember there being a bad point in the game. I don't remember anybody mucking up. It was fantastic. Loki's confirmed that Kanu is 27. Denninger says, but he's English. I'll tell you where he's from. My notes. I've forgotten what his name is. What is his name? It is Ethan Manwari. So I'm going to go down to here and have a look at my list of all the players I've got. Down to an M. He was born on the 21st of March 2007. He's England, Nigeria. So his parent. There's about 60 players on the list that I've got. I'd say about 25 of them have got Nigerian abilities, play for Nigeria. We've got a couple of Dominica, a couple for Sierra Leone. You know, Okonkwo, the Arsenal goalkeeper, is out on loan at Crewe. His brother's at the club, and he's also a goalkeeper.
Oh.
How nice is that? We've got a couple of Moroccans. You know, that Salah-Eddine Oulad Mhand. He's currently on loan. I can't remember where he's on loan to. His brother's at the club as well. So we've got some brothers and things. We haven't had any of that since we had the Willock triplets. Not the triplets.
I'm not really sure what players we get out on loan. You know, I used to watch someone who was going to do like a loan watch every week, and he hasn't done one for a long while.
We got a Barbados, Wales, Barbados, and England, Montserrat. We've got a Jamaican one for Carl, Kayon Edwards, England-Jamaica. We've got a Mexican-Canadian, Marcelo Flores, which is nice. We've got a couple of Polish as usual. There you go. That's a list I was making up last night. And we've got an Ireland, Nigeria, but that's Bongo, and he is going nowhere because he's on loan at a very shit club. You've put me off track now. Peter Wilson says no Brazil player.
Yeah, he's put it a bit later down. He's not very good at YouTube. No Brazilian players called up from Arsenal. So I haven't took Jesus, Gabriel, or Martinelli. So if they don't call any of those up, I want them to get knocked out in the first round of the World Cup.
17-year-old Souza was also on the bench, Femi says. Loki says, I had a face and a waist beard at 15. Cheeky. Nigerian parents, says Josh. Yeah, there's a load like that. And if they're anything like the ones we've already got, the young men coming through, happy times. Right, where are we down to? Goal, Nick, 27th minute. Jesus, who I now spelled Jaysus because that's the only way I can make sure I say his name properly. Great build-up play. Xhaka out left to Katie. Katie back to Xhaka, who lobs it superbly. Xhaka is the second coming of Xhaka. Lobs it over the entire Brentford defence onto the feet of Jesus. To the head of Jesus, and Jesus goes, I don't mind having that, son. Thank you very much. Wallop, bangs it far post. Wonderful bit of play. I actually stopped breathing at that point. Nick, what was your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it was. It was really good ball in. I mean, if anyone else put the ball in like that, you know, the internet be creaming themselves. It's so good, but obviously it's only Xhaka, so he probably didn't mean it. But that's actually a really good header from Jesus. I think he had a lot more to do than what people, give it. It's always just a header. He actually had to arch his neck a bit and actually put, direct it a bit more. So it's not like it was like the first goal with Saliba. That was like a flick on / get it towards goal, and a bit of luck that it came in off the post, because normally people are there to tap them in. But yeah, it's actually a really good goal, and it's just we haven't really had a striker that could score with his head since Giroud years ago. I mean, Aubameyang didn't score. I think he scored something like 2 goals with his head out of his 60 or 70 goals he scored for us in 4 years. So. But yeah, this guy, I mean, he just seems to be able to score all types of goals as well. The scrappy ones, shooting from distance, headers. Just really good. And that's just good how they're starting to click with the new players, with the old players as quickly as they are. Maybe because we got them in fairly early as well, didn't we, Jesus? So maybe that's a good thing about getting them in early in the transfer window, so then they can get as many, more training sessions with each other. Because they just get, almost telepathic, like what, some of the older players used to. But yeah, that's good goal.
That's what we need. We need synergy, and it is a beautiful thing.
Synergy, I like that word. I'm going to write that down and steal that.
Yes, feel free. It's so annoying, StreamYard. They don't make life easy when you're uploading things. Constantly have to go look for all files. Not doing it. Right, we have a picture here of that is a wonderful picture, Xhaka. Yep. For people at home on the bus having a poo, walking the dog. If you are walking the dog or driving the car, just open the window and shout out the car. Xhaka is my captain for the day. It's a picture of his kit on a hook in the changing rooms, and I think I like that so much. I might even have that as a background. Although Odegaard is our captain, I know that. Don't get the ump with me. But that just looks really nice.
Well, Xhaka has always been my captain, and he also put a video out on the Twitter thanking all the fans, and because they were actually singing his name as well, the away supporters, which he appreciated because a few years ago some morons were booing him instead of cheering your own player, which is the opposite of a supporter. But I think he's always been our captain, really.
Look at that, number 12, Big Willie Saliba. Celebrating after he scored the goal. That's is that the face of a man who wants to sign a new 5-year contract, do you think, Nick?
I hope so. Just put it in front of him. Just say, "Oh, can you just sign this autograph, mate?" And just have people, "I want their autographs," and just have Edu just sneak in with a hoodie and say, "Can you sign this, mate?" And he sign it. I was like, "Gotcha."
That there is no way that will not work.
I think it would. They should put me in charge at Arsenal, and no one would run their contracts down.
Good. Another photo here is Vieira and Martinelli doing some kind of thing. I don't know what it is. And then we have another photo here. I think this is just after the goal that's coming up. Just look at the team unity there. Poor old Teabag in the middle, just scored a goal. Xhaka there. Look at him. He's a beautiful bastard, Xhaka is. He's the kind of bloke that you'd want to be friends with, just in case, you get someone coming around trying to steal something out your garden. He'd go after them with a rake and show them the error of their ways. And this one, that's just after Vieira scored again. Lovely. Everyone is so happy. Right, we're going to go and see what some people are saying in the chat. Oh, dear. There's more. Are you keeping an eye on the chat in case anyone's been naughty?
Yep, everyone's doing really well.
Good. Dark Clown says, nope, can still improve. Loki says, sweet goal from Jesus. Josh says, the redemption arc of Xhaka is pretty incredible. Who would play Xhaka in a film of the turnaround? I'd like maybe
Tom Hardy, maybe?
I was thinking the bloke who does 1 million films. Oh my God, I can't remember. How can I not remember his name? He's done more films and he keeps doing all these shit films and we wonder why. No, how has that gone? I haven't been up long enough for my brain to be bloody working.
Leonardo DiCaprio, why not?
No, the old bloke.
He is old.
Shush. Phil says, fab ball from Xhaka, but Brentford didn't push out at all. Don't care. Doesn't matter. We're all happy. Femster says, strong neck. You lot are making my life so hard. That says strong neck muscles there from Jesus. Rudy's put Xhaka was outstanding. Saliba brilliant again. And that with a little niggle. He hasn't trained for 10 days, said Arteta after the game. Bloody hell. As a question, hold on. When was I saying? Okay, I'll save that question. Phil does one decent tweet, one decent message per show. That was it. And it was a question. Good, we saved that. Rudy, no Odegaard, no problem. Joshua Page, John must have been creaming himself with that Xhaka pass. Yes, indeed. Rudy says, winning at Brentford isn't for everyone. Good point there, Rudy. How many teams this season, Nick, do you think in the league are going to go to Brentford and win, let alone win convincingly? Because they're a decent team, aren't they?
Yeah, some clubs come up and you just think they're going back down, like Norwich and people like that, because there's not. But they've got a really good foundation of players. I don't think they've got really world-class players around it, but they've got a good foundation of a squad there and a first team. So they're difficult to play against. Everyone found out that last season, especially at their ground. And they kept trying to say, the commentators today, or maybe because it's early and Brentford are tired. I was like, It's the same time for Arsenal players as them, but it's just the reason they caught us last year is because we had 8 players out with COVID and or injuries on the first game of the season. That's the main reason they done us. It's nothing to do, with the fact that they're a better club than us or they have better players man for man. It just is what it is. And if Amazon had another documentary this season, I'm sure Arteta would have some sort of weird, message to say, remember what they did last year to us, and show tweets where people took the mick out of us on social media about it and was like, go out there and put it right. And they did. I mean, I know so it's only 3-0, but we pretty much dominated the whole game and dominated them man for man. And looks like we'd had more gears to go if we wanted to, but I think we just kept it where it was rather than, try to take the piss. Because if you do that, they could start getting humpy and start kicking us.
People are saying that they want Steven Seagal or Bruce Willis to play Xhaka. Dellinger, do we get to heap praise on the manager now and all his formations right from the last FA Cup season? Well, some of us have been behind him the entire time, and we saw, I think the All or Nothing documentary has made such a difference for him. It seemed that people have been able to see the kind of person he is. I didn't realise he was a swearer. That was a bit shocking. But we can see that the passion that everybody has and the determination, and he has a set of rules and expectations. And if you don't meet those, then you're out. But if you do meet those and you want to play how Arteta wants you to play, we're now seeing how brilliant things are working out. We'll have the odd hiccup like Man United. We're bound to have more hiccups during the season. We're probably not going to win the league, but we're definitely at this rate going to be top 3, which is leaps and bounds from where we were even last season.
Of course we are. I mean, nobody goes a whole season unbeaten, do they, Danny?
Only the best do, Nick. Only the best. Rudy says, really nothing to moan about this performance. Femi says, big shout out for Big Gabby at the back as well. He handled Tony brilliantly. Fem, aren't you doing or did you do, because I went to sleep, did you do a Twitter Spaces, is it called? Did you and Carl do one? Because after the game, sometimes they did it last time. But we could maybe delay the shows a little bit and then can have people doing all of that. That'll work. Let's get back to my notes, Nick, before I complete. I've got this bag of sweets in front of me shouting at me. Right, so where are we up to? The Jesus goal. 34th minute. Number 34 has his once per game pot shot from a mile out. Captain Xhaka. Lovely. There we go. Second half we're off to now. Goal, 48th minute. Vieira. Saka down the right. Passes it inwards to Vieira, who thinks, might as well. As a shot, spanks it top bins. Keeper stood no chance. Everyone was wetting themselves yesterday over the goals that Son was scoring. Do you think they're going to be wetting themselves over the clinical placement of what he did today? Because he meant that. There was nothing else on. He knew what he was going to do. He did it and scored. And then you just look at that and just think, take a bow, son. Magnificent.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably up there it's got to be up there for goal of the season. Definitely for Arsenal. I mean, I don't know. There's a long way to go for the rest of the season, but it's just nice that we've got a few players willing to have a shot from distance, because I think we all got absolutely bored to death of the side to side, full back to full back, up and down the pitch, doing nothing. And, the fact that they know we don't shoot a lot from outside the area actually makes us easier to shoot from outside the area, because no one was closing him down, really, because they thought, well, he's not going to shoot from there. You can't possibly score from there. And he did. He just did it, really well. Like I say, off the post as well. That just makes it so good. And I think they show the replay where he hit it, and it hit the post and sort of went in. And he had like a delayed reaction because he was looking. He's like, did it go in? I think it went in. Then everyone else started celebrating, so he did as well, because he got really excited. But yeah, it's just really good. Like I say, another player that can score, and I think did he set one up in the Europa League game a couple of weeks ago as well? I think he got
set up. I think Marquinhos was from nowhere, and there's my cat Dora. Dora, say hello to everyone. Say hello. She blinked. That's all you're going to get from Dora. Yeah, and the other goal was set. Eddie got an assist, and I can't remember who the other assist was from. So, but he is an exciting player. Really good point here from Rudy, as always. It took Arteta a good 3 years now to sort this mess out at Arsenal. He started to build on a good, solid defence. Good, reliable defences is the foundation. I'm going to burp. That's what George Graham said. Every decent team is built on a decent defence, and that's one of the first things you have to do at a club. And then you build from the back with a decent goalkeeper, and it's all looking tickety-boo. Our Femi says, we did one after the United game. We can do more. It would be good to have the whole team on there. Well, if we did them after this one or before this, we shouldn't do them at the same time as the live show because it would take listens away. But we could maybe do one. Oh, how about that, Femi? After we do the live show, could say, right, Femi's doing their spaces. Go, here's the link that we could send everyone over there. That might well work. Rudy says Vieira's goal shut them up. There was no escape for Brentford from there. Very true. Jim Eves, we have now gone 39 games since we dropped points from being 2-0 up. Lovely. BX Gunnar Marquinhos could have had Mins. Phil Macker, is your microphone made out of an old cat, Dan? Yes, it's Sebastian. We sacrificed Sebastian to make it. Oh, I don't know what it's made. It's synthetic.
Mine's just boring foam on mine. I haven't got a dead cat on mine.
Good.
What if they do tortoiseshell ones? That'd be nice.
That's what mine is, a kind of tortoiseshell colour. Adora! I did it once, you won't look again. Josh says, Phil, it's made out of 70s porn star pubes. You leave Chris out of this. Right, let's move on a little bit, shall we? So
just say, though, that the timing of that goal was really important, to score just after half-time like that. That pretty much, that was it then. I think they almost give up by then because they, whereas if they'd have scored to bring it back to 2-1, that would have just, swung all the momentum. It's just so important to either not concede or score before halftime and just after. But yeah, it's a good goal. I'll watch it again on Match of the Day.
The commentators were saying that if there's going to be a third goal, we all know that crucial third goal, like you're saying, if that goal goes 2-1, then we're in squeaky bum time. Goes 3-0, it's all over. Good point. 65th minute, another beautiful bit of play, ended with Vieira laying it off to Saka to make a great shot, palmed away by their goalkeeper. I have this ability, if I go to sleep after something has happened, I don't remember it, and I do not remember making that note or what happened. So that's how Sean used to mug me off for money. She'd come in, wake me up, say, Dad, I'm going out, can I borrow your credit card? I'd give her my credit card. And then later the day, she'd come back and with bags of shopping. I go, where'd you get that from? She said, you give me your credit card? No, I bloody didn't. I said, well, you did. And it turns out I used to do that quite a lot. And she'd mug me off. She's on her way back from Ireland at the moment. I went to a wedding. 69th minute, Gabriel in acres of space gets the ball, has a decent pot shot. You know things are going well when you're on the up, when your centre backs are going forward and having shots at goal that look pretty decent. 70th minute, Nick, Brentford are really going for it. Good through ball, blocked by Ramsdale, their first shot on target since the 5th minute. Not enough is going to be made about the fact that they are one of the best teams at home in the league. I think the crowd, the commentators said, because there was the crowd was a little bit subdued because of the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. That was not the excuse, is it? They were just we were dominated them.
Well, let's be honest about it. You only sing when you're winning, don't you? That's just how it is. They could see the game we were seeing, and you could tell within the first, not just the goals, but within the first 20 minutes, 15 minutes, we're not winning today. Nothing's going right. Can I go home early? That's what they were all thinking. So,
yeah, I like Brentford. I like their manager. I like quite a few of their players. That Tony bloke looks really good, but they just weren't at it today. We've got we had 107 people watching live. Hello, everybody. I'm Danny. This is Nick. We are a Bergkamp Wonderland. We do a live podcast after every game, usually about 10, 15 minutes after. But today I was having a lay-in. We do a preview show, usually about an hour and a half before every game. We do a podcast every Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever Chris can be bothered. Everything is live. And we also do a loan watch where I go through Arsenal's 24 current players out on loan, give a little bit of information about what they're doing, positions, ratings and stuff like that, and a little bit update of the team there with. So if you are new and you do like the cut of our jib, feel free to subscribe. We will send you a bill for $99.99 once a week, and you have to pay it, otherwise we're going to take your cats and dogs away from you. And they're all going to come and live with me. No, it's free to subscribe on YouTube. Everybody knows how YouTube works. How many thumbs up do you think we've got, Nick?
I can't see that on mine.
I know how many we've got. You're meant to be guessing.
19.
We've got 20.
Okay.
There's 109 people watching. So it'd be lovely if you could go and give us a thumbs up.
Okay, for a thumbs up.
That's very kind of you, Nick. Because if you do give it a thumbs up, then it will say, oh, this Arsenal podcast, live show, maybe some other people might like this. What we're going to do, we're going to go and share it with some other people and see if they like it. And so if you want other Gooners to experience the joy that is a Bergkamp Wonderland, click thumbs up. And you never know, they might share it. Right? I am actually doing things as I'm waffling along. I just did a tweet to let people know that we live, because the first few tweets I did, it didn't say we were live. Schoolboy error. Right, moving on from there. What have people put in here? Like Loki says, stingy thumbs up. Come on, people. If you get to 100 thumbs up, we will stay on until midnight. Because we know.
Hang on a minute, I didn't agree to this.
Did you say you're getting paid triple time on Sunday this week or next week?
Yeah, this morning. That's why I went in this morning.
How much are you on an hour normally?
I don't know, because I get salary.
Oh,
And it's about 30-something pound an hour today. And I went in and it was broken until 10:15. And then, so I started up for an hour and I broke it again and I went home at 11:30.
Lovely. 77th minute. Decent. Again, also, people, Arteta isn't getting the credit he deserves for the substitutions he is making, for the amount of time that he is learning from his mistakes. The Partey coming on back against Spurs mistake. Partey's could have come back from an injury. 77th minute. Takes Partey off, brings on Sambi. We've seen from when Sambi was covering for Partey that it was a brilliant, he did really well. Not quite as good as Partey does, but Partey was brilliant again today. Martinelli off. Big Eddie came on. I'm going to refer to him as Big Eddie now because I didn't realise he's 6'1" and still growing. And that was Eddie Nketiah's 100th game, Nick. How do you think he's doing as an Arsenal career?
I'm still not completely sold on Eddie, but as a backup player to come on, I think that's probably all we're going to see out of him. But, he's not sulking and not doing it. The thing is, when he's getting on the pitch, he's putting himself about a lot and he's running. I mean, you don't see it as much on the TV, but like when I saw him in the Villa game, because, you could look where the TV's not pointing at the cameras, and you can see he doesn't stop running. When he's on there, he's constantly being a pest. He's, was on the last defender's shoulder and he just puts himself about. If he keeps doing what he's doing, he could end up proving everybody wrong. I mean, was he 24 now? I think he's 23, 24.
Yep, 23.
It's nice to think that everyone hits their peak at like 21, 22. And if you're not world class scoring 50 goals a season by then, you've got to be sold and buy someone else off Football Manager and stuff like that. But some players don't really kick off until, 24, 25. I mean, I know we don't like him, but Harry Kane was a late bloomer, wasn't he? He Norwich didn't want him. Leicester didn't want him. He looked absolutely dreadful, and he got his chance and it just clicked. So maybe he's going to, in the next year or two, he's going to peak more, and people, will look back on these videos at people who didn't like him and said he wasn't that good and just laugh at us all. But
yeah, after he's got 24 goals in 100 games, but then when you look at how many of those, I mean, he showed at the end of last season, he has got what it takes. 2 goals against Chelsea, 2 goals against Leeds. almost saved our season. If he'd have got another 1 or 2 goals, he'd have done something about we would have been in the Champions League, but it wasn't destined to be.
I mean, what? So if he's got 24 goals in 100, so that's 1 in 4 for a striker that starts on the bench. So that's not bad, really, is it?
Well, he'll be getting his rating up much more in the Europa League because he will be starting, I reckon, the next 5 games. And maybe, depending on who we get in the future rounds, then we'll be starting those as well. And that will help him get used to goal scoring. But for England under 21s, 16 goals in 17 games. You don't do that if you're not a top quality striker. If you don't have potential to be a top quality striker. 79th minute, Nick. Penalty, but offside, so no pen. Even the commentator said, I don't even know how that works, whether that was a pen or whether that wasn't a penalty. What was your thoughts about that? Or do you just like me go, I'm going to forget about this because I've got no idea how it works?
Well, like I say, a commentator that's been with Sky since 2002 and doesn't know how it works is pretty much on point. Was
it Don Goodman?
No, he was the other one. There was Bill something. Bill.
Don Goodman. I like Don Goodman. He was.
Yeah, he was okay. It's the other because he used to play football, didn't he?
Yeah, he used to play for
Leeds
and
Wolves
West Brom.
and all that. Yeah, he was okay. It was the other one. The professional commentator, not the ex-player. He was someone who was like, I don't know, but yeah, you go back to the first incident. So if he was offside and he blew for offside, you can't then give a penalty because he was offside before the penalty. And I think there was one earlier where someone was offside and they blew offside, but as he put his flag up, it come off Saliba or Gabriel. And they're like, oh, well, if it comes off one of our players, surely that doesn't count as offside. Well, no, it's when the ball is played, not, halfway through. But, I mean, there's loads of rules, but it was offside before he gave the penalty, so it's tough. Clean sheet, deal with it.
And Stone Cold would say that's the bottom line because Nick
Danny said so. You look a bit like Stone Cold, Danny. You got the beard and the bald head.
I was once I went for the drive-through I was driving the BMW, so that was only a short length of time. So it would have been probably the summer of 1995. And the woman at the drive-through in Peterborough, just around the corner from the showcase, Loki, she said, you look like Bruce Willis. And every person I've told that to has laughed in my face. So obviously not very happy about that. So you can buy.
Does she mean Bruce Willis now or Bruce Willis back then?
Maybe she was a soothsayer and she could see the future because it is more like how he is now than how he was then. Right, let's have a little, couple of more things to clean up. Number 83, Ethan Manwari beats Harvey Elliott's record for the youngest player to ever to play in the Premier League. Ethan was 15 years, 180 days, and the youngest ever player. Did he touch the ball, Nick? I'm not sure that he did.
I think he may have touched it once. But I was just liking the crowd singing, when he going on. Like, he's going to school in the morning and stuff like that.
He's only 15. He's only 15. Ethan Manwari. He's only 15. I was looking through my Twitter feed and there was a really good... this means I'm not going to be able to find it. Who was it? It was Mike... who does the here we go. Don't just talk about your salespeople. It's worth waiting for. It's Mike the blogger. I'm sorry. Good job I don't follow many people, isn't it? Nearly. If I can, I'll edit this bit out of it. I won't edit it out at all.
No, you won't edit it out.
Come on, where is it? He'd done his own lines. No, I can't find it. I'm determined to find it. Control find M. No. Mike. Mike McDonald. There you go. That's the person I was looking for. All I've got to do now is Manwari. He goes to secondary school and plays for Arsenal.
I did like that. I mean, I asked this a few weeks ago, but you didn't notice because, I post loads of crap in chat. So about Vieira, are they actually going to come up with a new song for him? Are they just going to sing Patrick's old song? And they just changed Senegal to Portugal. So, but it works, doesn't it? He's got to enjoy that.
Looking here, people at home on the bus and taking the dog for a walk, I brought up the WhoScored.com graphic of the game. They gave Ramsdale a 6.9. I think these ratings are always very stingy. I think 6.9 is not doing him any justice. Tierney, another good game. Didn't do anything bad, and had quite a lot of attacking stuff down the left hand side. Stop me if you want to add anything, Nick. Ben White 7.3, also very good. Saliba 8.1, man of the match and a goal. Magalis, Gabriel to his mate 7.1. Xhaka 7.8, an assist and an unwarranted yellow card. Partey a 7.1. Martinelli 7.5. Vieira, a goal and 7.8. Saka 7.8 with 2 assists. Jesus an 8 with a goal. And none of those subs are really worth talking about. Well, actually, I could have a little look here, couldn't I? I can click on Manwari's name and then click on possession. See if it comes up with more. One touch. There you go. Thank goodness for that, because you would hate it for the poor bloke to that be his one and only game for Arsenal. He never touched the ball. Out of those ratings, Nick, any of them that you strongly disagree with, or anybody in the chat disagree with those ratings? Because I think they've been a little bit stingy.
Probably. What does Ramsdale get compared to their keeper? Because I can't. That's a little bit small.
6.6 for their keeper.
And what did Ramsdale get?
6.9.
So you get 0.3 of a percentage more for having a clean sheet, conceding 3 goals.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, it's just. But then he didn't have much to do. To be honest, I don't go a lot on all these ratings because that's just people's opinions, and without knowing exactly what you get for that. I mean, I tried it was about 10 years ago doing the Sun Dream Team thingy. And I remember the last game of the season, they fiddled loads of people, and gave people crap ratings, even though they scored and stuff like that. And I just haven't bothered for years since then because I'm like, nah, you're just giving, financially giving people crap scores because you don't want to pay out, So I was trying to think who it was. It was someone scored 2 goals and they gave him a 4 out of 10. I'm like, seriously? You score two goals and you get a 4? But that was when I think we just pay a tenner a month or something for that.
I can't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised. It is the Sun, and they are absolute scumbags.
Yeah, so I haven't bothered with it since then.
And I don't do it because I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't even do your one, the Bergkamp one, because...
Are you not in it?
No, I did ask for 3 seasons what the code is, and you said, I'll tell you later, and you never did.
Story of my life, though. Let's have a look at this, people. Everyone sit back. If you've got a cigar and a glass of something expensive, sit back in your leather chair, cross your legs and enjoy this. Arsenal top of the league. We have scored the 3rd most number of goals, which is lovely to see. Man City 23, Scum 18, but they have got 2 of the best goal scorers in Premier League football. And we've only got 1. And Arsenal on 17. Goals conceded, Brighton are the least with 5. Everton have only conceded 6, and they're bottom of the league nearly. How is that possible? They've not won a game. And then we are 2nd best number of goals conceded. And we are second best goal difference as well. Oh, no, we're not 3rd. Oh, there you go. That's pretty good. Not a bad start to the season. All you can do is play and beat the teams that are in front of you. The Man United game was an anomaly. That won't happen again. We've seen Man United are a very average time. They've only scored 8 goals all season, Man United, and 3 of those are against us. Absolutely ridiculous. But I think it's never good to lose a game, Nick, but it might have done the team a favour by ending that run of 5 wins in a row, because the pressure to go and make it 6 wins and 7 wins, and the pressure of having Arteta doing the invincible again, that's all gone. The unbeaten's gone, everything's gone, and now we started again. And the players went out there today and they looked refreshed, they looked energised, they looked together. The plan was working. And the first game I can remember in a long time when there was not a single player who had a bad game. There wasn't a single passage of play where I was going, oh, for God's sake, why don't you look? Ramsdale didn't throw the ball at any of our own players or at any of their players. No one got sent off. 3 beautiful goals. Other than that, Nick, I don't know what else to say. You got anything to add?
Not really. I mean, like I say, it's good game, but not many football on going into national break. But I think you're right when you say that, because I did watch the end of All or Nothing, the last episode, even though I knew it was a bad end. And
I've not seen it. I'm not watching.
It's like watching Old Yeller or Marley and Me, like just watching the last bit. It's like, oh, I know they're going to kill this dog. Do I have to watch it? But but it's like I said, what did we beat? Chelsea and United, but the games before them we lost to like Palace and Southampton and stuff like that. So it's like it's nice beating the big teams, but I mean, I think I said that last year. If we'd have lost to Man U and Chelsea and won the 3 games previously that we should have won, I do the thing, because there's sides we should beat home and away, and the bigger sides we should do well at home. And when you play them away, you'd probably be happy with taking a draw, but it is what it is. But if we could have lost those 2 games last year, but won the 3 before, we'd have been in Champions League. So we'd have had more points. We'd have had 9 points instead of 6. So we'd have had 3 more points than what we did. But it's all ifs and buts, I suppose. But we just got to keep it going. I know what you mean, like, because we don't want to get arrogant, do we? And actually think we're going to win the league and we're top of the league. Oh, we're going to walk this. And then we get, someone like Brentford would, last year it would be the team we'd have stumbled upon, and Brighton and teams like that. But we just got to keep, keep our heads on the shoulders, relax, and just keep working on it in training. And then we'll see how we get on after international break. Because I think we come back for about 2 weeks, and then we stop for the World Cup, don't we? Something like that.
End of November, we stopped for the World Cup. I've just been having a look at other scores. Juventus are having their worst run in years, and it's hilarious to see. They went to Monza, who haven't won a game all season. They've got a certain Pablo Mari playing at centre-back, and Monza beat Juventus 1-0. And Angel Di Maria got sent off after 40 minutes. Couldn't happen to a nicer
Did we sell him to them, or is he on loan?
Loan. Yeah, he's on loan. Des Moran. Hello, Des. Are you new? Nice to see you. I hope Arteta knows what he is doing. That's crazy pressure to put on a young kid. Remember Freddie Adu? Anybody? Freddie Adu, yes, is lied about his age, made himself about 4 years younger than he actually was. He was a star for a couple of DC United in MLS, and then the American youth teams, and then ended up failing to deal with the pressure and deal with it, and he ended up being a bit of a journeyman player, playing all over the place. It's very sad. He's a butt of many jokes, and if there's any Americans near, they know all about it, but it is quite sad today. Sad to see how his career fizzled out after being such a prospect as a kid. Here we go. Loki says, Match Magazine's done the best rating. I've got binders of Match Magazines from the 80s in the loft somewhere. I bought the binders. I've got my name on the side of them. Lovely. You should glue it on. BX says, Everton won today. Well, there's hope for everybody. Joshua does beat Everton 1-0. Josh says, Iwobi got man of the match. We know you're living in a simulation when Iwobi gets man of the match for anything.
We're not allowed to say that anymore, Danny.
Well, the simulation?
No, we're not allowed to say man of the match anymore. They've changed it. It's now player of the match. We're not allowed to say man of the match.
Woman of the match and man of the match, and it always will be. Rudy says, Iwobi is Everton's best player for some weeks now. Well, good, because we all liked Iwobi. He's a gooner at heart. Edeo Rogers. Hello, this is Rogers. Hello, Rogers. Josh says, yeah, Rudy, he's been excellent since starting us in central midfield. I remember when Iwobi was at Arsenal, I think it was his dad or someone like that came out and said that his future was to be playing in the central attacking midfield role, that he wasn't a winger. So good to see him doing well. Liam Greyhurst is here. Arteta put him on for the last few minutes, not for half the game. It's an acknowledgement to his hard work so far. Good. Patrick Coulson, how is Vlahovic doing? Hopefully really bad. BX, watched Rome at Atalanta now. Milan v Napoli later today should be a good one. Hopefully Napoli will smash Milan because my Inter lost today. Question from Loki. Dinner tonight, chaps and ladies. Me, Chinese and Mad Max 2. Good film. Mad Max, the last one was rubbish. Relaxing with a whiskey, top of the league. So no doubt sitting with, he's got a pair of expensive driving gloves, some pink fluffy slippers, and in his pajamas, sitting by an open fire. Arsenal for life. I used to know someone called Arsenal for life. His name was Jack. Did you see Gabriel's tweet? No, I didn't. If anybody could find it, we have got a couple of questions. Which Gabriel? Because we've got 8 of them at the club. We've got some questions. Phil Macker with his 1 point. He only makes 1 decent ones per show. When was the last time we went into an international break top and so happy with the team? Never. That's never happened. Not since the Invincible days.
No, I think we may have been there like 08, 2010. I think it might have been one the year Leicester won it. I think we may have had one where we were top in national break, but not a lot, maybe 2 or 3 maximum.
How about Leicester? My God, they need to get rid of Rodgers and all the people. Mems tweeted yesterday, I'm that bloke who, he said, I'm that bloke who always wanted Rodgers as manager. I'm glad we didn't now. I never wanted him. You can go back and listen to all 1,000 shows of ours that are on YouTube, and you will not find one of me saying, yeah, Brendan Rodgers, yeah, I like the look of that.
I just don't like his face. I just want to punch it. I don't know why. I don't know the bloke. I don't really care. I just don't like the look of him. I'm like, not a nice thing to say, but I'm being honest.
Did you notice how many passes we managed to string together today? I think one of them was over 20 passes. It was almost like watching peak Arteta ball again. No, peak Wenger ball.
Peak Wenger ball. I was going to say, because Arteta's still here, but...
He is still here. I'll just see if I can find any nice photos or any tweets. No, I don't follow any of them. I think I follow Jack Wilshere and that's it. Other than that, no one. I mean, current Arsenal players, there's none of them. Right. So that's Phil's question. And the other question we got from Joshua Page. Are you worried about the number of injuries we seem to be picking up in training?
Not really, because, going back years, we always used to have injury crises with like everyone injured. And as long as it's, a slight muscle injury, that is what it is. You'll have to deal with it. As long as we're not finding out people are getting, broken legs because people are crunching each other in training, that's not good. But, at the moment, especially when, we've got players to come in, Odegaard's out and Vieira can come in. And Smith Rowe, I think there's a few people worried about him over the last few weeks or months with his injury thing. So hopefully he just take a few weeks or months off and they can get him right. But like I said, we don't have to rush them back anymore. Whereas before we just had to rush everyone back because our first 11 was a really good team and pretty much anyone else from the bench onwards were not very good at all. But now we've got a really decent squad. So, yeah. What about you, Danny? You worried?
No, these things happen. We've got a decent amount of depth. There's only 2 players I'd worry about if we got an injury to Ramsdale and Jesus. Either of those 2 get injured, then I am going to be a little bit worried because we don't have...
What was the backup goalie? Didn't he have a bit of a mare? Didn't he have a bit of a nightmare in the Europa League? I think I can't remember. He did something. He didn't
have a nightmare. There was a couple of moments, a couple of wobbles, but not a nightmare. Decent goalkeeper. Anybody who watches MLS, come on.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want him to be in our number 1 for 6 months straight, would you?
No.
That's the thing. And is there many times where you would be happy with that? I mean, I suppose the last time that happened to some extreme, you're going back so long, probably Meninga, where he had about 2-3 months with Seaman, and
I think it would be the Fabianski and Szczesny days.
Yeah, because Szczesny was 3rd choice goalkeeper when he got in, didn't he?
He was on loan at, I think, maybe Brentford.
Yeah, I think he was. Back. Did we recall him because we didn't have any other keepers?
That I don't know.
Because I know we had
Almunia was number 1.
And then Fabianski. Fabianski was actually doing all right at the time for a few games. And then he got a long-term injury. So it was 3rd choice keeper. And then we ended up having him first choice for 2-3 seasons before we got Peter Cech in?
Yep. No,
which I think in long term was probably a mistake.
It didn't really work out. Vito Manone, another one that was decent that we had for a little while. Last seen playing for Monaco. I don't know where he is now.
Is he still at Juventus, Szczesny?
Yeah, he's still the number one at Juventus. I think he was in goal today. Just going to go and have a little looky poo. If you want to load sometime this week, who scored? That'd be lovely. Oh no, they had Perrin in goal. I don't know who Perrin is. What's his first name? Mattia Perrin. So Chesney was even on the bench. Yeah, he was on the bench. I wonder if he's played any games this season. I should think he's 32 years old now. Wow, he's an old man. Oh, he's only played 2 games this season in Serie A. He played in 90 minutes in the 1-1 with Roma. And then he played 43 minutes in the 2-0 v Spezia. So it looks like he may have got an injury. But I think he still is their number one keeper. We've got a question from a new name. A Noonan. Hello, Noonan. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying the show. Nick, do you think we will do business in January? Diaz Tielemans on the cheap ? Now, I don't know who Diaz is. The only Diaz I know is Cameron Diaz. She's an actress, so that's a no. Then you've got Diaz, the brothers, the MMA. Don't tell me the result because I've not seen the fight yet. And the other one is the one who is at Liverpool. So other than that, Noonan, let us know who you mean. But Tielemans, Nick, do you want Tielemans to come in?
Well, I mean, he hasn't signed a new deal yet. Whether Rodgers gets sacked and a new manager comes in, which is, I think that's inevitable in the next. If I was going to do that, I'd do it now because they've got 2 weeks international to get the new managers in, and at least he can have 2 weeks with whoever he's got to get it done. If he gets on and he wants him to play week in, week out, and he forces him to sign, then that's tough. But if he's adamant he still wants to come, and he's going to be free in the summer, if we could get him for 8 million, 10 million or whatever in January, why not? I'd still like maybe another striker, maybe someone, take a punt on someone who does really well in the World Cup, maybe.
He meant Douglas Luiz of Villa.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe, because I think he's got 2 years left, or was he in his last year of his contract?
I have absolutely no idea. I can guess.
Guess. What's your guess without Googling? Because I can
10
see
10 years.
He's got a 10-year contract, has he?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so fair enough. Maybe try to sign him in January, because I think, didn't he agree personal terms, and then in the last minute they knocked it on the head or something? I don't know exactly why. I mean, Gerrard said they agreed, but then they changed their minds. So
Noonan says last year. It's nice to see Arsenal for life and Noonan. And who else have we seen in here? Other new names. I can't. There was someone up there. Rogers. There's another name that was new. I hope you've all subscribed. And Des Moran. That's another new name. It's lovely to see new people in here. We're a very happy, and a very happy group. Jim Eves. I think I've seen Jim here before. So it's always nice to have new people in here. Rudy. Oh, here we go. Joshua says would rather go for Danilo of Palmeiras, a Brazilian side. They play in green and black stripes, I think. And Rudy says Tielemans and Douglas Luiz are on their last years of their current contract.
I do like that they're in the Premiership, so they're Premiership ready as well. I wouldn't spend stupid money, on someone from abroad, because especially in January, by the time they're sort of bedded in, the season's over, isn't it?
That is a problem. So hopefully we won't. I think we do need a little bit of depth, because no one in the side can come and do the Partey job. Someone here said, where was it? Arsenal for life made a good point. Partey is also a worry if he gets injured again. Yeah, that would be my third player, because we don't have a replacement. We've got players that can play in that position, like Xhaka and Sambi and Elneny, but they're not of the quality and the of Partey. When the players were booing him, the opposition fans were booing him, so the commentator said, there's the Arsenal fans shouting for Partey to shoot. They're not shouting shoot, sunshine. They're booing. The Matt Hatter. Now, that is a name I've seen before. A little late, but can't wait to hear your hilarious and awesome podcast. Thank you very much. Rudy says, I would go for this Murdoch guy from Donetsk. I'd go for him just because he's got great hair. And he is tricky, and he looks really... Have you seen him, Nick? There's a compilation going around of him. I think
What's his name?
Mudryk. He's Ukrainian.
Yeah, I'd like him just for that name. That looks awesome.
He's got blonde hair, maybe neck length blonde hair, curtains. Very, very reminds me a little bit of Andre Arshwind. Loads of tricky skills. Plays out wide. Looks like a really decent.
Is he playing
player.
Football or is he taking you out?
Oh, who knows? I can leave the house now again. It's my birthday in what's today's date? The 18th in 22 days. It's moving my
birthday. 15th, isn't it?
10th, but thank you very much. Anyway.
Close.
Don't send me a bloody mug this time. That's in the cupboard. That's never seen daylight again. It's very, very nice. I was quite chuffed when you got because no one else could be bothered. Josh says,
okay, "Yeah, so I'll send you a stripper this year instead."
Don't. No, because it'll probably be Chris because he's hard
up.
Rudy says he is awesome. They're talking about that Ukrainian bloke. He does look very good. But I think we've got enough players that play out wide. It is someone in the middle that we need. And I think I'd like to have Nketiah be our third choice goalkeeper rather than Karl Hein, who is, I think he's Latvian, rather than having him as our third choice. But I don't think we're ever going to need it. A. Noonan says, Mudryk, I'm not digging his tattoos. Needs to up his game if he wants to be at the Arsenal.
Yeah, they need nice tattoo sleeves. I mean, I thought that young lad come on today. I was like, where's all your tattoos? I was like, he's only 15. That's illegal.
Call yourself a footballer, son. Absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
I'm just going to save this image. Would you believe I've opened it in the wrong... My fat fingers, sorry people. Save image. Let me save it as a ping. Of course you're not going to let me save it as a ping because you're a pain in the arse.
StreamYard not like certain files to upload?
No, it doesn't. It bloody hates it because it's just the internet. So I'm going to edit that one and then I'm going to make his picture smaller and then I'm going to paste in the one that I've got of Mr. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's huge. And then I'm going to have to save it as a ping. A biddly bong. Save. We're going to bring up a picture of him. It is absolutely he's got a rubbish one on his neck. Maybe you've got a point there. Go down to here. And then, because I'm doing all the producing, the editing, and the driving of the show, Nick is just sitting there looking pretty.
Because you won't let you touch any of your buttons. You said you wouldn't trust me to open a can of beans that were already open.
Calm yourself, sunshine. It's taking forever to upload it because it's a large picture. Get anywhere nice for you. It's finally done it. I've got it on power save mode on my PC anyway. There we go. Here's a picture of him. Look at him. Huge calf and muscles. He's got a dodgy tattoo on his neck. This a little one on his hand. It is Shakhtar Donetsk he's at. Headband. I mean, he's got a touch of the Jack Grealish's about him. Do you think?
Yeah, he looks like Haaland and Jack Grealish had a baby.
Now that would be a half decent footballer.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I do like the look of him, from one picture. I've never heard of him before, but sometimes you could just look at players, just imagine them in the Arsenal kit, and I don't know if I can. He looks too mean to be an Arsenal player. We don't have very many mean Arsenal players for a long time, have we?
Hannes P says conceding a Saliba goal early must be the most annoying thing for the opposition fans because of the song. Yeah, very true. Because once he does anything good, that's it. For the next hour and a half, all you are going to get is Saliba. Joshua says bossing it in the Champions League, but needs to up his game for the Arsenal. Right? Well, the Champions League isn't what it used to be. There are some very poor teams in the Champions League. And there's some really shit teams in the other parts of North London who are in the Champions League as well. Right, I think that's it. We're done. If nobody has any more questions, then that is us done for the day. Oh, Tulbyful is there. You're late. I'm late. Nice win. How good was Saliba? They were all fantastic, Tulbyful. We were saying that there was not a single player who had a bad game. We did not have a single section or time or length of period of bad football. Today was almost the perfect game. Everything went our way. The fans, the players, even the decisions went our way. Everything was... In fact, I think I might still be asleep, Nick, because it's not very often you can say about that. We have nothing to grumble about.
No, but Saliba is good. Like I say, when I saw him at the Villa game, he actually got booked, which was a bit of a bullshit booking. And I was like, I was thinking, oh well, take him off, put Tomiyasu on, and move Ben White back into the middle, and he didn't. And I was like, oh no, you're going to get sent off because they were putting a lot of long balls up, and he was chasing 1-on-1 with what's his name? He was up front for Villa, the little. What was it, Watkins? Ollie Watkins?
Oh, Ollie Watkins, the good.
Yeah, I think he was running. I think that was him anyway. And I was like, oh, don't slide in. Don't go to the ground. Don't pull his shirt. And there was 4 or 5 times where I thought he's going to get sent off. And he didn't. He stayed on his feet. Didn't, got tight enough to not put him over, but put him under pressure. So, he looks a really good player. I'm just surprised, Chris hasn't said anything about him in the last 3 or 4 years to say how good he is. He normally he reckons he knows a lot about French football, but I don't think he's ever mentioned him, has he?
No, I don't think he has. Phil Macker says, is there a Sunday roast later? Yes, there is. 10 p.m. people. Me and Fat Mike, the American goon, 10 p.m. tonight. That's UK time. That would be 5 p.m. East Coast, 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. in the middle, and 8 p.m. No, wrong way round.
You're going the wrong way, Danny.
3, 2 p.m. if you're in LA, and 3 and 4 p.m. if you're in the middle bits. And it'll be me and him talking for about an hour and a half, a little bit of football, talking about what we've been doing through the week, and usually a good show. And people seem to like it, which is always nice. It'd be good if you lot turned up for that, and you can ask questions about absolutely anything. And we might even be letting people come on and talk to us, give us a question, and then we'll talk about that. Josh beat Leipzig 4-1. Good. Tulby Fool, I'll take your word for it. No grumbles from me then. Lovely. Joshua Page says 2 goals, 3 assists in 2 Champions League matches. Yes, so mate, if he's doing that kind of quality stuff, then maybe someone else will snap him up. So who knows? Right, Nick, where can people, have you put your link to your Twitch channel in the chat yet?
No, that seems a lot like hard work. I mean, they just Google it. No one follow links anymore, do they?
Yes, they do. How do you think they got here?
I don't know. I think they're lost.
Fair enough. Oh, Des Moran says, thanks, guys. Great chat. Good night from Shanghai. Oh, Shanghai. That is, where is Shanghai?
I have no idea.
I'm not going to guess where it is. Echo, where is Shanghai? I'll pretend I know. Shanghai, the People's Republic of China. Latitude 31.2, longitude 121.5. So there you go.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the chat, by the way.
I didn't want to guess. Phil being mean about Twitch. We like Twitch. And there's, if you want to go to, if you do use Twitch, go to Twitch and go and find Nick Fights. That's our Nick there, and he plays mostly shit games, but sometimes he plays good games. Like at the moment, he's playing Red Dead Redemption 2, which I've been watching. Most of the time I turn on, don't like what you're watching, and I turn it straight off again.
I'll play Red Dead Redemption 1 after that then, so I keep you entertained for a little bit longer as the cold weather
that one as well. Yes.
But yeah, but also I'll pimp out because I'm still doing my video games podcast. Like I think we record it Sunday, but it comes out Tuesday, and that's 360 Gamercast, where we just talk about games and crap and stuff like that. But yeah, if people like video games and stuff like that, check that out, maybe.
Yes, good. Right, so come back tonight, 10 p.m. All the links will be out. We'll be live on YouTube. We'll be live on Twitter and on Twitch all at the same time because we stream to everywhere. And if you are new and you did like the show, give it a thumbs up, give it a subscribe. That would be lovely. Avon, you're late. Should we start again? Evening, I guess I've missed the pod. Yes, Avon, but we did start late. So you are forgiven, Avon. Nice to have you there. And go and email this show to every single person in your contact list and write it on a piece of paper, put it through the door of all of your neighbours. Thank God for that. Everyone says, no, don't start again. Good, because I've got no idea what I said. See you later. Right. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, Nick. We have been a Bergkamp Wonderland. Now, which outro should I play you? Should I do the Anfield 89 or should I do edit bits of Dave and Steve talking? Which one do you think we should do, Nick? I'll let you pick.
Anfield 89.
And the Anfield 89 outro is with all of the Arsenal players from Anfield 89 on the back of shirt numbers. It's 36 seconds long. We will see you tonight at 10 p.m. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
Bye.
Out it goes to Lee Dixon. Long ball from Lee Dixon. Smith will hold it up, plays it square to Thomas. And Thomas goes inside Nickel. And Thomas is there. And Thomas has scored for Arsenal. In injury time, Michael Thomas has scored for Arsenal. A ball played through the gap. Thomas was there. He held off 2 challenges, kept his head. By my watch, we are a minute and a half into injury time, and Michael Thomas may have won the championship